Hello, welcome to my YouTube. My name is Lily, I'm 19, I'm from Toronto, Canada, and I'm spending the next 3.5 months traveling Southeast Asia. In the past 2 years, I've gone to Italy, Spain, Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, and Cambodia, all with my own money. I'm taking 2 years off as a gap year between high school and university, and this is my last big trip before I go to school. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out how the F to make this camera work. It's just not working. So I guess I can just hold it then. So this trip I'm doing the Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore. And yeah, I have about a month in each country, 5 weeks in Malaysia, maybe 6 weeks in Indonesia, and then only 1 week to 10 days in Singapore because I know that it's really expensive. But yeah, I've gotten a lot of really great feedback on my Instagram, which will be in the thing down there, saying that I should make a YouTube channel and start vlogging. But I just want to put a little PSA out there. I've never watched YouTube. It's never been my thing. So I don't really know like the format or the flow that people usually use. So I'm just going to do what I think that I would like, and hopefully you guys like that too. So the biggest question that I've got on my Instagram so far are about accommodations. Like, how do you just show up somewhere with no accommodation and just make it work? How do you decide where you're gonna stay? What's a hostel? Like all these things like that. So I wrote some points. So I'm organized as a Virgo bitch, Virgo gang. And yeah, so let's do the first question, which is, what is a hostel? So in my definition, I think a hostel is something that exists in cities all over the world that's almost like a hotel, except it's usually the concept is a shared dorm. So this can be between like 4 and 16 beds mixed, or like just female or just male beds in a dorm, and they can cost between $4 and $30. And yeah, you just pay per night and you can stay there, and sometimes they have a bar, sometimes they have a pool, stuff like that. But they're all over the place in Asia, which is really great. So my first point is the freedom of picking hostels once you get there in Asia, like not planning ahead, kind of just like showing up and figuring it out, which is not really my style. But here is something that I really like to do because I feel like it takes a little bit of stress off the actual like Wi-Fi service. Oh my god, what are we gonna do? Like just knowing that I can arrive and figure it out is really encouraging. Okay, I'm gonna read off the paper because I don't want to mess it up. But there was a big boom of tourism in the last 30 years within Thailand, Vietnam, and Cambodia. So those 3 countries and the countries surrounding them, so like Laos, Philippines, Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia, have really capitalized on the tourist interest of their cities and countries. So because of this demand and the little other opportunities offered to local people in smaller cities across Southeast Asia, locals have really made it easy for us to travel these areas by opening so many hostels, hotels, restaurants, bars, tour companies, etc. So be free, show up, don't stress, and figure it out. So yeah, basically there's just not a lot of opportunity for people here, especially in smaller cities. So when tourism kind of started to blossom here, a lot of people capitalized on that and have opened a lot of places for people like me and like you to just kind of show up and go. So there's just so much is basically what I'm trying to say. You have nothing to be worried about. You show up in a city in any of like the 8 countries in Southeast Asia, you're gonna be fine. So my second point is online booking. So sometimes I do online booking, and if I do, I used to use Hostelworld, but this trip I started using booking.com because it's a lot cheaper. So it's just an app on your phone. You can search up any city in the world and it'll show you all the hotels and all the hostels in that area, and you can do it based on which ones have air conditioning, which ones have a pool, stuff like that, and it just shows you the price per night. So yeah, you can choose to book online, or you can choose to pay, like show up and do like show up when you're there. But definitely there's times where you show up to a hostel and they're like, we're full. But then you can just go, but they'll be like, okay, just cross the street and go to Mao Hostel and they'll have a bed for you. It's like, okay, great. So sometimes it's cheaper to book online and sometimes it's cheaper to do it in person. That's something that I kind of do check. Like, I look it up. If I know there's somewhere I want to go because a bunch of people have told me, oh, when you're in Mobile, stay at Hangover Hostel. Like, I'll look it up online. Is it running out of beds? Is it cheaper to book online or cheaper to do it in person? So that's just one thing. And the cost, like I said, is between like $5 and $30. That definitely depends on amenities. So, like, is there Wi-Fi? Is there AC? Is there pool? Is there a bar? What's the distance that it is from, what's the distance that it is from, like, the biggest tourist things in this area? The number of people in the room definitely changes. Like, if you choose to be in a 6-bed female dorm, that's going to cost more than being in, let's say, a 12-bed mixed dorm. But usually it's only, like, a couple bucks anyways. Number 3 is private rooms versus dorms. So a lot of the times hostels can offer you a private room, so you'll pay $30 a night for a bed alone, which is also nice when you're traveling. Like, for me, for example, I'm traveling for 4 months, so I'm sure like 2 months in I'll be like, you know what, I do not give a fuck, I'm trying to soak this $30 for tonight. I just want to be in my own bed. I don't want to think about anyone else. So if you do feel a little bit uncomfortable traveling, those options always exist, and they're a lot cheaper than you would expect versus like a hotel in Toronto. You know, one night in a hotel in Toronto, the cheapest you're gonna find is, I don't know, like $50, and that's gonna be like super six, whatever the F that you do not want to be in. But like here, there's probably for like $20 you can find a private room. Just so you know, if that's something you're scared of, being in a bigger room, you're not like super comfortable with that. They also have lockers. Almost every single one has a locker. Like, I personally, knock on wood, have never had anything stolen from me in a hostel. I've had $200 stolen from me on a bus in Vietnam, but like, that's okay. And so yeah, private rooms versus dorms, it's really just up to you and what you're comfortable with. But I definitely encourage people to stay in dorms because you meet so many people that way, and it's also really funny if like you all go out together and then come back and you're just like wavy, you know. Number 4, how often? Oh yeah, oftentimes you can go to, like, there's a hostel that's doing free rum. Let's say their reason to get you to come and stay there is free rum from 6:30 to 7. They will let you go and have the free rum even if you're not staying there, which is really nice. Or like, they have a pool, they'll let you go and do that. If they're organizing a tour, they'll let you go and do that even if you're not staying there. Like I said before, a lot of this has to do with money. It's very unlikely they're going to turn you away from like using their amenities if it's going to like benefit them in any way. And being popular is benefiting any place, obviously. So that's pretty much all I have to say. I really, really appreciate you guys watching my video. Hopefully you found this interesting. If you have any other questions, please leave them in the comments below. This is, again, my first time doing this ever. This is my second take of doing the video. I did a first take, and then I was like, you know what, I should organize my thoughts and write everything down. And yeah, so thank you guys so much. If you like it, if you want to see more, subscribe, and definitely follow my Instagram if you want to see my booty. So actually, you know what, we'll just show it. We'll just do it for the gram. That's what's up. Sorry, Mom. Oh, okay.